Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Welcome back to Love is Awakened. I am Emma. It's really funny when I record on the camera instead of like on my phone. For some reason I'm like, welcome. I need to do a presentation here. The vibe is so different. It's really funny. But I like it. I like it. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing in this experience with me. Thank you for playing over here. Yeah, welcome. Let's have a beautiful exchange with one another. I am here today to answer a question. I received a couple of questions from my latest video. Change is easy, and I really wanted to respond to these questions. So this is another of the spiritual FAQ. Let's dive into it. Let's see if I respond to both of the questions that have come up so far, or if I just go with the one to begin with. So here is John asking, what if the change requires us to go back to the trauma event of childhood? Please help me understand this fear. Thank you. What if the change requires us to go back to the trauma event of childhood? Yes. Yes. Here's the thing. When we are shifting a belief, the belief itself or the habit that is usually created from a belief in our subconscious mind, it will usually be rooted in childhood experience, because this is where we form the foundation of our subconscious behaviors. This is how we learn to understand the world, and then how we learn how to navigate the world to stay safe, to stay as happy as we can be. But generally, the subconscious is really about repeating what we have been shown, believing that that is going to bring us happiness, safety, and joy. Happiness and joy are the same thing, I guess, but still, fulfillment. And to keep us safe, right? So if we have experienced something that made us feel unsafe, our subconscious forms various different beliefs and patterns over time that is designed to keep us safe. And so when we then continue to live and grow and become adults, sometimes these beliefs and patterns aren't helpful to us anymore. And they actually become a source of unhappiness or limitation, right? So here's the thing. When it comes to uncovering trauma, I have experienced trauma myself, and I have revisited it. Years ago, I would go to therapy, where I am in my perspective and experience now, and what I teach when I work with people one-on-one, what I guide people through, is rather that you don't have to revisit your experiences. You don't have to go back and look at everything and be like, like, what happened, and let me sort it all through. And you know, we've done that in the past. It can be helpful. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I don't think there's anything you shouldn't do or should do. I can only say what really has majorly shifted and you know, shifted my reality, turned my reality into a great sense of freedom and joy and creation. So but you don't have to. You don't have to go digging into past experiences. What is important is being with yourself here and now. So, yes, our patterns are usually formed in childhood. Some of them would stem often from trauma. But change happens now. Change doesn't happen in the past. There is only the present moment, and that is the only moment that you need to pay attention to. So if this was a one-on-one where I was actually speaking to you, this person, John, who's asked this question, we would move into the experience of the present moment together. But speaking about it from a more, obviously in this way, creating this video, I can simply explain how it kind of works when we do this. The thing is, right, the main thing that I teach, the main thing that I speak about is who am I? The truth of what we are. The fact that we are not this limited physical being, but that this is simply an appearance, right? When we explore this thing, the truth of what we are, there's a lot of freedom that simply comes from that. And we can use this exploration as we unravel the patterns and habits that have been integrated into this being, into this body. And for some reason I'm like, oh, this feels great. Just let it all loose. Let it go. Let it go. And here's the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing about this, you know. We believe ourselves to be locked into our habits, our patterns, our traumas, our thoughts, our emotions. And this is simply not true. Once again, why I created Localize Your Center, the course that I'm releasing soon, is literally for this reason as well. Because the main thing that you want to focus on is coming back here. Coming back to your center, coming back to your heart. And it's not necessarily about, oh, I thought my laptop was charging, but it's not charging. I'm confused. Oh, it's not connected. That's why. My apologies, babe. My apologies. There we go. Yes. Coming back to here and now is the same as coming back to presence. It's the same as coming back to the heart. The thing is that there is nothing that we actually need to do. There is nothing that we need to do to heal, to shift, to change. What we do need to do is find our center, is find the experience of being, the experience of the knowing that I am limitless, that I am this formless being brought into form. And as I say these words, I feel this, I feel it in my heart. It is a shift in perspective, right? It is a shift in understanding everything of life. And it is our natural state. All this stuff that we move through in the mind, this is not our natural state. We've been locked into the mind, believing that we are the mind. We are not the mind. And the mind doesn't speak the truth. The truth is way more multifaceted, completely, you can't grasp truth. Mind cannot grasp truth. So we need to shift our perspective if we want to unravel and decondition in the most effective way, according to my personal experience. There are, of course, many different ways that we can work with trauma. We can work with trauma simply through the body, through somatics, right? Through movement, through, allowing it to release, What I teach is not taking that away, but rather it is, it becomes a natural part of the healing. Because once again, when we come back, when we bring the focus onto what is the truth here, what is actually happening here, who am I, then we see, we notice that, whoa, there's more emotion arising. There can be memories come up from childhood. It starts, I like to call it a self-cleaning process, because that's how I was experiencing it when I first moved into this state of being. It was like, I was just sort of there, open. I was just like, wee, experiencing, and these emotions would arise, discomforts, and accompanied by thoughts, by memories, and it became clear to me that it was, it's simply, it's moving through, because it's been held onto by the body, by the energetic body, the physical body, the mind. So in this way, we might revisit trauma if it arises naturally through our presence. And once again, this is what I teach, how to actually sit with that when it arises, so that we're not pulled into that experience, that story once more, but learn to come back to the open space awareness that we are when the mind, emotions wants to pull us into that old familiar story of a belief that we have been held back by. And yes, there might be fear. There might be fear in meeting these traumas. I have been there myself. And yet when we hold space for them, when we sit in presence, when we come back to center, our presence grows, our love grows, and it becomes an anchor. It becomes a safe space. No matter what is happening in our experience, we feel safe. We feel the love. It's what Ramdas, I believe what he meant when he said the cosmic giggle. Even in the difficult situations, uncomfortable sensations and thoughts, there is the awareness, the knowing of the truth. The truth as the presence, the consciousness that we are, that is completely untouched by experience, by the content of experience. It is unchanged. And that is what gives us the courage to truly also be human. Because we don't need to be afraid anymore. We don't need to be afraid of the pain. And we learn to live in our hearts. And we really get to be in that space of the formless in form, the divine and the human all at once. And this is also where we find our power as human beings. The fact that we are able to direct thought, able to direct focus. And then we realize that we are the creator. We are liberated. Liberated from the fear of the things that we have identified as limitations onto ourselves. We're freed from the fear of actually looking at the things that the mind has said, don't look there, don't look there, don't look there. But once we turn our focus, once we turn our attention onto it, with the presence of love, and that is the true love, when we're in our center, when we know that space, when we know that I don't really want to call it that, because it's not a space, right? It's not something that we go to and then we go back. Sometimes that's what happens at first, but I don't want to go off on a tangent either. But once we identify the open space awareness, and we're like, holy shit, man. And we begin to cultivate that presence, that knowing, and we begin to shift our identity into the open space awareness instead of the identity of the singular being limited by body and mind and emotion. We're able to approach past experiences from a different state of being. So to summarize, what is the most important thing here, in my opinion, experience, most important thing is not to worry about this need to change, how do I change it, but rather the first step is coming back here, which is why I created Localize Your Center, because I'm like, this is the thing. Like, this is the thing that we need to look at first in order to make our deconditioning, our healing, and our empowerment really freaking effective. And I'm saying this because this is the journey that I took myself, which is why I'm teaching it now. Because I'm like, fuck, man. Like, this is the thing that changed everything for me. And it continues, you know, it's like, it's so magical. It's so magical to know how powerful we are. But it starts here. And then working through the past that arises naturally through our presence. Once again, it's the welcoming that I spoke about in the last spiritual FAQ, and I am actually creating a downloadable meditation, welcoming meditation, that I'm very happy to just share with you as well. So hopefully my intention is for that to be of service. And of course, I have worked with teachers, with coaches in the past, and that can also be really helpful. So if you are, looking for that extra support, you have my website in the description of this channel. It is loveisawakened.com, so fairly easy to remember. You can go on there and book an introduction call with me. And like this video, subscribe, comment, yeah, continue to ask your questions. Thank you so much for asking them. I really hope that this was clear. And it is an exploration. We have to remember that it is an exploration, but you're not a victim. You are not locked into your past. You are not locked into your past. You're here in the present moment. You're a free being. We are this one being. We are limitless. And it's so freaking magical what's happening here, You are divine being exactly the way you are right now. Right now. Your heart is free, and you can send that beautiful love out into the world, into yourself, into everything. But also, don't be hard on yourself if you're not seeing that right now or feeling that right now. Just know, I'm telling you. And if you need that support to get there, I'm here. There's so many people that are here that can hold that for you and guide you into that recognition, because it's just a remembering. It's the truth of what you are. It's your natural state of being. It is not special. I'm not special. Other people on YouTube and everywhere are not special for having realized this and embodying it. It is our natural state, and we're here to learn together, to continue to uncover, to learn about this magnificent thing that is life. There's so much to learn here. I get so excited. I get so excited about this shit. So Just remember, just remember, just remember. You got this. I know you got this. You got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. I know it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Blessings, 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 blessings. So much love to you, and we'll speak soon. Mwah!